Fishing is done by spreading a net offshore and pulling it to the beach with a tow rope attached to both ends of the net. Together with the boat seine, which attracts schools of fish to the fishing boat, they are representatives of the purse seine net. This is a method of fishing. In addition to the one-handed netting method using a single net boat, there is also the two-handed netting method, in which two net boats cast the net on both sides. Originally, fishing was done using a small land seine method called one-handed fishing, in which one side of the net rope was left on the beach and a net boat was used to cast the net as it went out to sea, and the net was passed around in a semicircle, returned to the beach and pulled the rope. The purse seine fishing generally practiced throughout Japan is one-handed purse seine fishing carried out by one net boat, several watermasters and about 30 dragons. Early purse seines did not have a center net, but later, a bag net was installed in the center even when the purse seine was spun with one hand, and even today, with advances in mechanization, the work of making a center bag net is easier. Still done by hand, Kujikuri Beach is famous for purse seine fishing. The history of purse seine fishing on Kujikuri Beach dates back to 1555, when Kyusuke Nishinomiya, a fisherman from Kishu, washed ashore in Shikane village, present-day Shirako town, Chiba prefecture, and passed on the Kishu method of purse seine fishing. Purse nets are reported to be small one-handed purse seines, but Kujikuri Beach is shallow and has no hidden rocks on the seabed, making it suitable for large-scale purse seine fishing because there is no risk of the net breaking when pulled. The two-handed trawling method, in which two trawl boats connect the offshore net to the bag net in the middle, then separate the left and right sides and release the net on both sides, was first used in the Kane period, 1624 to 1658, in Ichinomiya Hongo village, now Ichinomiya Hongo village. It was devised by Genomon Kataoka of Ichinomiya town, Chiba prefecture. And the scale of the net was 300 meters long on each side, with a large net width of 30 to 40 meters in the middle, with 60 to 70 watermasters and 200 fishermen. 5. Regarding the seine fishing in Kujikuri Beach, Nobutsuki Sato's "law for the maintenance of fishing villages" stated, It is common to see people going all over the 4 seas and doing sen fishing. There is nothing like it, and the number of pages reached more than 200. Large-scale purse sen fishing requires a lot of money and labor, and although it is not a dream of getting rich quickly if a large catch is made, fish are not always available, and the Kujikuri Plain, a rice bowl area, is in the background, so getting rich quickly is not a dream that has developed particularly in Kurikirihama due to social conditions such as the labor force being mobilized only when necessary. Most of the purse sen fishing in the early modern period was done by this method, and in addition to Kujikuri Beach, Higo Amakusa and other areas are famous. Although not a large-scale purse sen, it also requires the labor of many fishermen and hikiko. The use of potter's wheels to make fishing nets became popular in the early Meiji period, and the use of winches to pull the nets began to appear in recent years. In addition to the problem of manpower, this is a typical coastal fishery, which was once prosperous when migratory fish were abundant due to the nature of the fishing method, but has declined due to the development of offshore fishing. The main types of modern purse sen fishing are shown below in Ibaraki Prefecture: sardine, horse mackerel, barracuda, etc. Fishing is carried out in areas of Ibaraki Prefecture where there are no obstacles such as coral reefs on the seabed and where fishing conditions are good on the beach. The size of the net varies depending on the location and species of fish, but the length of the bag net is 20 to 40 meters, and the length of the sleeve net is about 90 to 200 meters on each side. Take it out of the bag offshore and cast the net in both directions toward the mainland. There are 2 net boats, 1 hand boat, and about 30 fishermen. One-handed purse sen fishing is carried out on sandy beaches facing the open sea in Tokushima Prefecture. The fishing gear consists of a bag net, 2 sleeves and a dragline, much like a 2-handed fishing gear. It is a one-handed job done by a single boat. The net is pulled up from the ground so that both sleeves are evenly spaced. At first they are far apart, but as they are pulled up they become closer together and eventually they become wider. Brought up in one place. On the Joes coast of Niigata Prefecture, horse mackerel, mackerel and sea bream are caught from March to June using a multi-layered sen net consisting of a main net and a small or large sen. Load the main net and drag line into the trawl boat, set out to sea, and the sen fishing is carried out along the coast of Kyoto Prefecture from March to May at a depth of 10 to 20 meters and 100 meters from the shore. The operation is carried out by 2 small pleasure boats with 4 to 6 people on. board. When a school of fish is found, it surrounds the school with a semicircular net, and when it reaches land, it pulls the school of fish in. At the mouth of the Ishikari River in Hokkaido, sen fishing is carried out from December to May of the following year. In river sen fishing, the net is pulled from upstream. It is best to work in a place as designed as possible, with no obstructions on the riverbed and good fishing at low tide. Tottori Prefecture, sea fishing is done with katsura nets. In addition to purse sen nets, tail lines are also used for wigglers. First, a gilded rope with about 300 white painted wooden yellowtail boards, about 10 by 70 centimeters in size, is tied to 1,000 meter long line. Seisuke schools in the reef area and deep them close to the shore. Then, a sen net is placed outside the yellow sen line on a flat area near the shore, and a tugboat will put the sen line around the hakiko and pull it up to the sandbank to catch the fish. It takes 8 to 10 hours for a long line fishing session to be carried out off the coast of Tomitanaka, Shirahama Town, Wakayama Prefecture. Drag fishing is fishing with rowboats, and a net boat is pulled by rowboats. When the current direction is the tide, the trawl boat is used to fish counterclockwise at the fishing grounds near the top of the tide, and when the current direction is counterclockwise. The tide is high, if so, then floor to the left. Two boats row a little line from below and drag parallel to the shore about 500 meters, but it takes about 5 hours to reach the beach. Once at the beach, the row line is brought to the mainland, and the boat is pulled to the mainland, but it takes a while. Trawl fishing is practiced as a tourist experience throughout Japan. You can pay to become a Hakiko member and take it home. Let's look at the different fighting methods. Net fishing involves surrounding a school of fish with a net, then timing it well and pulling it up to catch the fish. Ipponzuri, of steamed fish. Finally, a hook is needed like the answer. This fools the bait fish, and one by one. When fishing for squid, the sea is illuminated with intense light, and the delicate squids that gather there will be caught. Bow catch fishing net. Just glide the light on one side of the boat to attract fish, leisurely on the other side. Activate the light on the side of the net and quickly pull the light out where the light suction device is into the net. Bow line fishing involves attaching a fishing rod attached to a long line, letting it drift out to sea and waiting for the fish to catch it. Fixed definition of fishing net refers to a large net at sea. Place it on the path of the fish and the fish into the net are expected. Fishermen have developed many different fishing methods to catch fish. You can catch them by using your hands in shallow rivers, but that is very difficult. So in shallow rivers, to catch fish hidden near rocks, the fish can use a rock to hit the rock where the fish is hidden as hard as possible and the impact will make the fish flash. However, it is very difficult to shoot a fish that can be seen with a rock. Fish can see us and the rock moves back in the water, so in most cases, they can escape. To catch fish that you can see, just rub the fish with a spear or spear. A coda is given rubber power to catch fish. Fishing can be fun if you just invite people to play, but it requires people to go to the sea to find fish, and it is difficult and time-consuming, like not being able to go to the sea on days with big waves. Just not having to go to the sea when catching fish is also much easier. Using a fishing line is safer because it does not get wet, and you can catch fish at night or at a depth where you cannot see. There are two methods, using the target and aiming the same. There is a line fishing method, in which you bring the fish to the boat every time you catch one, and there is also a line fishing method, in which you expect about 6 hours to catch a fish over 100 kilometers long. Need fishing. Catch a fish that is stimulated by using bait and pull it on. To the boat. Tow line. Several tow lines are hung on the fishing boat, and when a bait fish is caught, it will easily advance one by one onto the boat. Squid fishing. Squid gather in the light, are attracted to artificial fishing with many fashionable fishing line fishing. Target big fish by attaching 2,000 fishing lines of silk over 100 kilometers long. Under is famous for fishing, and there are many different types. famous for beach trawl fishing. The history of beach trawl fishing around Kurikura began in 1555, when a Kishu fisherman, Nishimiya Kyusuke, drifted ashore in Saigan village, now Shirako town, Chiba prefecture, and introduced the Kishu beach trawl fishing method. Beach trawl fishing is thought to be a small one-handed trawl, but Kurikura is shallow, has no reefs on the seabed, and a network of reinforced modules without dangerous foundations is suitable. The two-handed trawl method, in which the offshore net is tied to a bag in the middle, divided into left and right halves, and lowered on both sides, was first used in Ichinomiya Hongo village, now Ichinomiya Hongo village, during the Kane era, 1624 to 1658. In Ichinomiya town, Kataoka gentleman lived, and he set up a large net 300 meters long on each side and 30 to 40 meters in the middle. There was 60 to 70 water owners and 200. Fishermen. Regarding the beach trawl fishing in Kujikuri Beach, Sato Shinitsu's Law on the Development of Fishing Villages stated, crossing the sea on all four sides and fishing with beach trawls was the norm. Nowadays, that is no longer the case, and the number of nets has increased to more than 200. 6. Large-scale beach trawl fishing requires a large amount of capital and labor, and if a lot of fish are caught, getting rich overnight is not a dream. However, there were not always fish, and with the Kujikuri Plain being a rice-producing region, and the labor force only available when needed, getting rich overnight was a social dream, especially on the Kujikuri coast. Most of the siege fishing in the early modern period was done this way, and it was famous not only on the Kujikuri coast but also in Higo Amakusa.